So we are recording the meeting. Again, welcome everyone. Just to introduce myself, my name is Zoran Grubisa. I am ORC Chief Measure and I will be the chairman of the technical committee for the ORC Worlds. Together with me, helping me is Matteo, also part of the ORC staff and also member of the technical committee. There are others, I think, maybe also technical committee and ORC staff members present, but most important for us is that all your competitors are here. Our idea and our wish of this is to present you all the technical procedures, how we will do work the pre-race and post-race inspection. And we will go to the presentation that I hopefully will take 45 to 60 minutes, depending on the questions, how we go. I will start by sharing my screen. So just a moment. I hope you can, sorry. Just to check, you can see my screen now.
Yes.
And I'm starting from the beginning. Okay, the first question is what is needed to enter the championship? You need, obviously, in 2026 ORC international certificate issued not later than today. Basically, today is the deadline for the certificates, and the CDL needs to be between 8 and 16.4, flotation date not earlier than 29 of April. As up to now, I was basically reviewing all certificates of the entered boats issued up to date. And I think there are still some, I think that out of 113 boats on the list, I had 90 certificates issued. I know that some of the boats were still doing on the very last moment. I have been in communication with some rating officers. We have one request from rating officer which was approved for the boat from now on to have a couple of days delay in issuing certificate. So according to the notice of race, if we get the request from the rating office, we can do it. And also the updates on the certificates can be approved by the technical committee during the pre-race inspection or during something. So I don't have exact list, but if you are in this call, be sure that you have your certificate issued today, that on your certificate you have flotation date not earlier than 29 April, so stability measurement not older than 5 years. I know that there has been some boats, but I understood that there are also lots of boats were going in the last moment measurements. And I will do again the review tomorrow when the deadline expires, and then we will see where we are. You need to have all sails measured. Basically, all sails, including main sails, head sail set on the forestay, head sail set flying, symmetric, asymmetric, everything shall be measured according to the IMS rule. While storm and heavy weather sails shall be measured according to the offshore special regulations, so safety sails. While later, when we go through the presentation of the safety equipment, we will give you a little bit more information about this. What is important that all sails shall have a measurement stamp or sticker with all required measurements clearly readable. So the measurements shall be recorded as on the sticker on the sail. If they are not recorded or we cannot clearly read it, we will need it to remeasure at the venue, and then we will need to charge appropriate measurement fee, which is as a standard for a championship, 50 euros per sail or 30 euros for special regulation sails. Frankly, it's much more better and easier and cheaper that you just check that you have all the sails measured, that there is a stamp, that you can read the numbers so on this, and then you can find these sails in your certificate. This is one of the sails are one of the part of the pre-race inspection checks. And again, any sails that doesn't have a stamp or we cannot read the measurement will need to be measured. Hopefully, frankly, and for us and for the work is the less we need, the better is also for you. Inspection will take place from Wednesday to Friday. So on Wednesday in the morning, in the afternoon, on Thursday in the morning, in the afternoon, and Friday only in the morning. There is an online registration or through website or actually email that has been sent to you. And as far as the studio, by that email, you can select the slot you want to be. And if you, I hope you or did it. If not, please contact the organizer. We can later check with Alessandro, but we are expecting to have very soon the complete schedule, so we can know exactly when each boat will be selected. So how to be prepared for the inspection? Boats shall be at her designated berth. As far as we understood, some boats will be moored in Sorrento and some another place, Sant'Andrea. Or don't take me if I missed
Sant'Anna.
it. But anyway, the boats that you just be on your boat, because there will be four teams who will work mostly in Sorrento, where majority of the boats, and there will be one team that will go on another place. But basically, you need just to be on your berth at selected time and date. Be ready with responsible person on board, owner or skipper, and present all sails with the corner taken out from the back. So we need to see the sails and the sail measurement sticker on the sail. Make clear decision which sails you want to use during the championship, because before the start you need to select which sails you want to use during the championship, during the whole week. Have all safety equipment ready for inspection. So how many sails you may have on board? It's actually written on your certificate, but as a reference, depending on the CDL and basically the class that you are entering on this championship, main sails is always 2, head sails is 8, 7, 6, or 5, depending on the class, and spinnakers are 6, 5, 5, or 4. So basically, you may have, for example, in class C, you may come to an event with 6 spinnakers, but you are allowed to have only 4, and you need to select which 4 you will use. On the fours, on the sails that you will select, there will be an event sticker, and only sails marked with an event sticker may be on board during the event. Number of sails from day to day may vary, but shall remain the same for each race day. So it's up to you to decide how many sails you want to go or you want to have on the boat. But once you go out at the beginning of the day, of the race day, when you dock out, these are the sails you shall keep on a boat. You cannot later take out or add any sails. So if you are allowed to have 2 main sails, but you select to go out with 1 only, and your 1 is broken, then probably you will need to, if it was on the first race and you have 2 more races for that day, unfortunately for you, you will need to go back with, and you will not be able to take the new mainsail on the same day. So be sure to select the sails you want to use on that day. If you have sails damaged, you may replace it, but sails beyond repair maybe replace it, but then obviously for the next day. So for the sails, important rule is keep the maximum, select which sails you want to use, and on the day when you go out, these are the sails that needs to be on the boat all time. We will also be checking internal ballast. If there is, the weight and position will be checked. Please note that internal ballast shall be properly fixed below the cabin sole or as low as possible. Fixed means that fixed in the terms that can prevent any movement. It means it can be with some screws or Sikaflex or something. It's not that you just put a piece of lead somewhere and with some rope this will not work. So we need to check that internal ballast is permanently fixed to the hull structure. Crew weight is not part of the pre-race equipment inspection. I will get back on this when we talk about post-race inspection, but there will be official scale where you can check, and crew weight may be checked after the race during the post-race equipment check, and if it is found greater than maximum or smaller than minimum, the technical committee will protest the boat. So be sure to have your crew weight properly declared in the certificate. The rule is very simple. It's up to you to decide to declare your crew weight. So if you have put all your crew members on the scale and put some margin to be sure, if you declare 610 kilos, for example, and we weight your crew and we find you with 615, we will protest you. And very probably the jury will decide, but the penalty for such infringement is actually disqualification. It's not a question of checking the boat certificate and rating effect of this, because it's something that is declared by the owner. So be sure that you declare it and you keep your crew weight within the minimum and maximum recorded on the certificate.
Sorry, Zoran, can I spend 2 seconds, like 2 words on the crew weight?
Yeah.
We learning obviously from the past regattas, and crew weight, it seems something quite straightforward, but sometimes it's very complicated. So the simple rule for the crew weight for the people how to weight themselves is like light street clothes. What does it mean? That you need to have some flip-flops, some thong, something on your foot, and shorts and a t-shirt. We don't want to see, like in the past, people just stripping down almost naked in underwear. This is not acceptable. So that's very important. Lo dirò anche in italiano così non ci sono dubbi per la pesata degli equipaggi. La regola dice light straight clothes, che vuol dire che sono un abbigliamento che usereste per andare in giro, quindi sono delle infradito, ciabatte, pantaloni corti e una maglietta. Non vogliamo vedere, come in altre occasioni, in altre regate, gente che inizia a mettersi in mutande, perché questo non verrà tollerato. E una cosa importante, le barche che si pesano, tutte le persone dell'equipaggio devono essere presenti allo stesso tempo. Questo è molto più semplice per vedere chi si è pesato o no. And it's also very important that all the crew of a boat will show up at the weighing at the same time. That's for it's a kind of logistic, and it's easy to monitor. Only this.
Thank you, Matteo. I will come back later when we come to the post-race inspection. Also, we will, mention this, repeat this again. But important is that it is the responsibility of the owner to have the crew within the crew weight recorded in the certificate. Next item that we are checking is the safety equipment. So the safety equipment on the event website, on the official notice board, there is a link that you can click on it, and you can download this checklist, which contains on the first page the checklist, and on the second page pictures and explanations. The easiest is, please just print this, go one by one, and see if you have it on the boat. If you have any questions, first resource is obviously the special regs, the document that you can find also on the World Sailing website. But if you have any doubts of anything, you can always write us, and we will answer for any specific questions on this. I will also now go briefly through all these requirements through this presentation. Again, if you have any question of this, just put a question. We can stop and do the. Matteo, please check if there are some questions, I think, in the chat.
Yes, I'm replying to them.
Yeah, okay. So let's start. The first thing is navigation lights mounted above shear line, and so they will not be masked by sails or the heeling boat. Minimum 10 watt for boats less than 12 meters, or 25 watt for more than 12 meters. Spare light, reserve lights having the same specification and then can be powered independently. Spare bulbs are not required for LED lights. Marine VHF transceiver, obviously you need to have one with a minimum rated output power of 25 watt. That's the one that is called the fixed one. And then you need also the handheld VHF receiver, watertight or with a waterproof cover. When not in use, it be stowed in the grab bag. I will go little bit later explain exactly the contents of that grab bag. AIS transponder. So even I know that there will be the tracking assigned for each boat, and the tracking devices will be given for the long distance races and also for the window lever races every day. But nevertheless, the rules also require to have AIS transponder, and I think that also at some point, I think that if you lose the GSM signal, the tracking can also then use AIS. But what is important that both AIS shall be active from the first day of equipment inspection until to the end of the event. So please do not try to turn off your AIS. AIS should be active all the time. That's required by the notice of race. You need soft tapered wood plugs adjust to every through hole opening. You need 2 fire extinguishers each with 2 kilos of dry powder or equivalent in different part of the boats, and then the fire blanket adjacent to every cooking device with an open flame. Flashlight is searchlight is needed, suitable for searching for a person overboard at night and for collision avoidance. Watertight flashlight again shall be stored in the grab bag or emergency container. I will come back to the grab bag later on, and spare batteries and bulbs for both. First aid manual and first aid kit. So the contents then shall reflect the likely condition and duration of the passage and the number of the crew. Foghorn, rigging cutter and knife. So rigging cutter means something that can make possible disconnecting the standing rigging from the boat. So it can be like this, it can be like some saw or something, or even electrical one, but depending also if you have carbon or fiber rigging or if you have rod rigging, basically you need something that you can disconnect for the shrouds in the unlikely case that you have dismasted the boat. Radar reflector shall be passive radar reflector, octaedral circular plates of minimum diameter like this, or can be also non-octaedral reflector with a documented root mean square, and as specification here. And just a general comment, all this presentation, both presentation and the checklist are checklist and guidelines for you. In case of any really need of interpretation of the rule, please refer exactly to the special regs and check exact numbers. So navigational charts, not solely electronic, so you need charts that are plotting equipment, paper charts basically, obviously for the area where the race will be held, so we know where more or less where we are. Marine magnetic compass capable of being used as a steering compass, permanently installed marine magnetic steering compass, independent of any power supply, correctly adjusted with deviation card, and second compass, which may be handheld and or electronic.
Sorry, Zoran. There is a question from Ross Vickers regarding AIS. So his question is, can AIS be turned off once docked in? I reply with what's in the safety checklist, saying AIS should be active from the 5th May, 10 a.m. until the completion of the last race in the series, as you know, we all know. But he's questioning the fact that this is going to be a problem with the battery.
So I hope that there is some power plug in the marina when you are docked, so I mean you can charge it or
Well,
just on that, you're right.
Ross.
Yes, we can plug into the shore power, but are you prepared to guarantee that shore power will be consistent overnight? Because if we lose a lithium battery, we can't race the next day.
Okay.
Well, that's a question for the organizer, I guess.
This is a question for the organizer, Alessandro. If you maybe comment on this, I hope that there will be the possibility to have the shore power.
Yeah, it looks like a few people are commenting that the shore power is not an option for them overnight either, as a long-term solution.
Okay. I mean, thanks for letting us know. Frankly, in the previous events, we didn't have this problem. We didn't think, but we can review it in the case that we see that there is a problem. We can amend this part. We can issue an amendment to the selling instruction.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. And after they saying it's not 5th of May, 7th of May, that's correct. We
Okay.
will amend that too. And Nicola Baldas talking about the discrepancy between what's published on the website and OSR regarding life jackets. Well, the simple question is OSR are the reference for the rules. If there is a discrepancy, OSR are the have the priority. And I guess Nicola, do you want to comment on this? Is that something related to the ISO certification or European certification? Nicola?
No, okay, Matteo, we can, when we come to the slide of the life
Okay, let's
jackets,
go.
then we can also comment
Sorry.
this and give some, yeah, or go on.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
go
Giorgio.
on, please.
Yes, I'm in crew with Nicola.
Okay.
And we have noted that there is a discrepancy between the OSR and the checklist in the website. So
Yes.
we'd like to know which life jackets we need to have on board.
But sorry, which discrepancy you are referring to? This EN note only, or what exactly is this discrepancy you are referring?
I don't have it in front of me, but I think is the all ones without the hood, without the light, and without what is needed by OSR now.
Okay, I think that someone was putting in the comments, is this EN versus ISO.
Yes.
I think that this was actually the correct was change in the OSR that was even not marked as a change. But
Yes.
the life jackets and really are with the spray hood, with the whistle, and everything remains as such.
Yes.
This is not.
So
This is not changing.
the only difference is that in our safety checklist we mentioned that EN or N ISO, but according to the World Sailing Offshore Special Regulation from their PDF, it's only ISO 124023 level 150. So therefore, is the ISO the one that counts.
Again, I will come to the slide,
Yeah,
and we can
please go
double
on.
check it, but just to see. So continuing with this of the pyrotechnics, you need 4 red hand flares and 2 orange smokes. Then we have bilge pump and the buckets, 2 strong buckets, each with lanyard, 1 permanently installed manual bilge pump. All required permanently installed bilge pump shall be operable with all cockpit seats. Removable bilge pump handles retained by the lanyard. Anchors. The usual question is, the rule doesn't specify exactly the weight and of the anchor and the amount of the chain and rope, but the rule requires suitable combination of anchor, chain, and rope for the size of the boat. Ready for immediate assembly and ready for deployment in 5 minutes. Somehow guidelines, I'm not saying it's a rule, guidelines can be that we'll go with the chain 1 kilo per man meter of the boat plus the anchor plus the rope. And obviously chain needs to be connected together on one part of the boat, because you don't want to find the anchor on the bow, rope in the stern cabin, and chain somewhere below the mast. So we will be reviewing, and we simply need to understand, okay, this is good, because if you have 50 footer and you come with an anchor of 10 kilos or some small thing and two links of chains, we will probably say, no, this is not enough. And trust me, we have seen lots of things while doing this. But basically, you always think about, can you have this boat and can you really anchor with such combination of anchor, chain, and rope. Okay, here is life jackets. Life jackets shall have an emergency position indicating light, whistle, lifting loop, automatically manual gas inflation system. Be clearly marked with the boat's or wearer's name. Have a spray hood in accordance with ISO 12402-8. A boat shall carry at least one gas inflatable life jacket per cylinder, and if appropriate, spare activation head for each type of life jacket on board. A life jacket shall be worn while on deck during offshore races. Frankly, I need to check that if we put this requirement in the notice of race, maybe I took it from the previous championship. But anyway, so coming back to this, Matteo, I think we explained the only difference is that in the previous version of OSR that there was mentioning also of European norm, and now it's also ISO.
Yes.
And I hope that is everyone clear which type of life jackets you need. Okay. Tethers, one of the items that is always having lots of discussion and questions, but I hope that most of the boats that have been already on the ORC Championship up to now already know what it is. And I have to tell you that I had a call with the World Sailing Group about the special regs today, and everyone is admitting that the rules can probably be slightly modified or at least make more clear, and this is the plan for the future. We are working together with them on a submission that will clear this. But for the moment, and for what we are doing, and interpreting or having all these last championships for ORC, and basically what OSR is requiring, what is important that if you have 2-point tether, so only with the 2 points, shall not exceed 1 meter, including the length of the hooks. If you have 3-point tether, then the distance between the two most distant points shall not have more than 2 meters. Tether shall have self-closing hooks on each side and overload indicator flag embedded in the stitching, and be manufactured after 2000. I hope this is more or less clearly gives you all the rules. Be sure that check that you have the tethers that are complying with this. Grab bag that I mentioned several times before. So the grab bag shall have a minimum contents here. The watertight handheld marine VHF, which we mentioned before. Flashlight with the spare batteries and the bulb, which we mentioned before. Now, 3 red head flares in addition to 4 already required. So the usual question is, one rule is requiring 4 hand flares and 2 smokes, and here we have 3 more. Water type strobe light with spare batteries, and a knife in addition to 1 already required in the cockpit. So this is the contest of the grab bag that shall be. The flashlight is the same as the flashlight is the same of the boat. So everything that is here and also on the checklist, it's written in addition to already required. In addition, anything that does not have this in addition means that is those items that are already described in the checklist. Lifebuoy shall be with a self-igniting light with the whistle and the drog, and within the reach of the helmsman and ready for immediate use. Heaving line of no less than 6 mm diameter of 15 to 25 meters long, readily accessible to cockpit. Recovery sling, so this is device to recover the person from the boat. It is buoyant line of less buoyancy sections, no less than 90 newtons, minimum strength, capable to hoist a crew member aboard. Normally, this is basically the equipment device that you buy as such, I know that in some championship there were some boats who were trying to construct it by themselves, but didn't work. So if you have the standard one that you can buy in the shop with the safety equipment, please just be sure that it fits with all these requirements. Lifelines. The most important part here is to know that Dyneema lifelines are not allowed, not under even on the transom or a size. This is category 3. Dyneema is not allowed. You only can have at the end of the lifeline no more than 100 millimeters. Your liner synthetic rope may be used, so 100 millimeters, 10 centimeters. Then lifeline should also be taught. Should be if you apply the 4 kilos force between the midpoint, the deflection should not be more than 50 millimeters for upper or single, or 120 meters for intermediate lifeline. We may check this, and also stainless steel lifeline shall be uncoated, because we need to see that it's not rusty, that it is correct. This has, in the past experiences, that we had problems like this, and people need to change this. Again, be sure that you check your lifelines compliance with the offshore special regulations. Jack stays shall be dependent on the each side of the deck, enable the crew member to move readily between the working areas, have a braking strength of this as written here, and needs to be mounted on the deck for the offshore races only from the moment when boats are leaving the dock. Clipping points needs to be adjusted to stations such as helm, sheet, winches, and mast. Enable crew member to clip before coming to the deck and unclip after going below. Now coming back to the storm and heavy weather sails. As I said before, first of all, they need to be measured, and measured in the sense that measured with the measurements required with the special regs, and also with area recorded. So you need, for this race, you need a heavy weather jib and either a storm trysail or mainsail reefing to reduce the luff at least 40%. Heavy weather jib area, all the maximum area are written on the certificate. Just double check the numbers on your certificate. You don't need storm jib specifically, but obviously storm jib is much smaller than heavy weather and therefore eligible to comply. So you can choose to have storm jib instead of heavy weather jib. This is not a problem, but you may also have only heavy weather jib. The trysail should be either the trysail or mainsail reefing to reduce the luff by at least 40%. 40% means almost second reef, sometimes even third reef. And if you select to do so, we will probably need to measure your mainsail to understand the position of that reefing point. If you have two mainsails and you don't have a trysail, then you need to have this possibility to reduce the luff on both mainsails. And storm trysails shall not have no headboard or no buttons. And the material of body of storm sail after 2013 shall have highly visible color, day glow pink, orange, or yellow. And again, these sails shall be measured. Emergency tiller capable of being fitted to the rudder stock, except when the principal method of steering is by means of unbreakable metal tiller, and when there are two methods of controlling a rudder, neither of which share components with the other except for the rudder stock. So these are some exceptions for emergency tiller. So this is, let's say, completing the safety equipment check. As I understood, the life jacket is probably the most one that is asking, or again, my importance would be on the life jackets, on the tethers, on the lifelines, on the things that we know that more or less we are having problems during this check. But again, I'm repeating, please print yourself this list, go through list, check. If you have any questions, check the rules. If you still have any questions, send us an email. Matteo, you can just type the email email address in the chat window, and we will try to answer you as soon as possible.
So it's events@orc.org. I just put it. There is a question from Benjamin Enan. It is both heavy jeep and storm jeep, correct?
No, it is either. It is actually, as I said,
Yeah.
it's heavy weather jeep that is required. But if you have storm jeep, it obviously complies because it's smaller.
I just put in the
But
chat
rule
the
requires only
reference.
heavy weather jeep.
Yeah.
Okay, we go now what we are doing after the racing. So on the water, the technical committee can approach boats randomly and check that presence of event stickers on the sails on the board. So all the sails should be with event stickers. It cannot be that we put a sticker on one sail and somehow another sail come to the boat. The position recorded in the measurement inventory, if there is anything heavy items, should be on the place, and major OSR compliance, such as tension of the lifelines, can be checked. This is on the water. At the dock, we have the first boat go for the check for flotation. We will define the place. I know and I understood that it may be difficult in the area to find the place and also to time, but we will try to do our best to find the place where we can check the boats. And we are talking here for the first, second, and three in each class, because we actually have the championship for each class. Second boat overall goes for the sail checks. So we will you need, if you are selected, the largest of each: the mainsail, headsets, the forestay, headsets set flying, symmetric, asymmetric, and any asymmetric spinnaker with ratio half width to foot length less than 85% shall be presented. And the crew weighting, as said, is go for check on the crew weight for the third boat. And crew weight shall be weighted in light street clothes, means short trousers, t-shirt, and flip-flops as a minimum. And I repeat what Matteo was already explaining. Please be sure that you have the whole team ready, and we need to be very precise to understand who was exactly on the boat, and then that one by one, but with some identification. You don't probably need a passport, but we need to understand who is who from the crew list that will be provided. So we are applying this criteria at the end of each day, and then for the next day, if the boat was checked for flotation on day one, next day will not, if it is still first, will not be checked for flotation, but maybe checked for the sails, and the next day may be checked for the crew weight, and so on. So we are basically going, do not repeat the same check on the one boat two times, unless there is some really protest or something that we need to understand. But in a general principle, we will be checked all the boats, and then we believe that by the end of the championship, top 10 boats or top 5, 6 boats will always be checked for something. And again, independently from the results, if we have any measurement protest or something strange that we find, we can always inspect any boat by the choice of the technical committee. What can be result of the post-race inspection? If we find a boat that does not comply with the ORC rating rules, it shall protest the boat, and we may protest the boat for any infringement of the OSR. Flotation check will start with the freeboard measurements. We run the test certificates with this measurement to calculate APH that will be compared to one of on your ORC International certificate. If the difference is less than 0.1%, both will be considered in compliance and everything is okay. If it is greater, then we will continue also with inclining test. If the APH difference is still greater than 0.1%, the TC will protest the boat, and the ORC rule 305.2 will be applied. What is ORC rule 305.2? It's basically the tolerance on the rating and the penalties for any checks and any non-compliance with the certificate. Basically, whenever we are doing some check, we are running the test certificate to compare the rating of APH. If the difference is less than or equal to 0.1%, this is within the tolerance allowed, and then original certificate is maintained and the protest is dismissed, meaning everything is okay. If its difference is more than 0.1 but less or equal to 0.25%, we still need to protest and present the case to the jury, but very probably the decision will be no penalty, but a new certificate will be issued with the new measurement and all races will be rescored new certificate data. Please have in mind that particularly with ORC rating systems, as we know on the windward leeward races, the results can be very, very close, sometimes exactly the same corrected times, sometimes just the seconds of the corrected times. So when we start applying this may affect results. You may get or lose or more points places in the case that you need to rerun your certificate. If the difference is between 0.25 and 0.40%, then there is a penalty, which is 50% of the score for did not finish. And all races, again, are rescored. So in all races, in both where both was found incorrect, this penalty will be applied. If the difference is 0.40% or more, then the penalty is disqualification. And then the boat cannot even continue to race until all non-compliance are corrected to the limits defined in first A 0.1%. I really hope that we will not need to apply any of this, and I hope that we will always be in the area of Rule 305.2a. But this is for you to understand the procedures, how we are working and how we are doing. Again, repeating, the crew weight does not come to this discussion. It's not a question that you cannot say, I have only 5 kilos more in the crew weight, rerun my certificate and see that it's no, because the crew weight depends on your declaration. So if you declare your crew weight, it's your responsibility to be within declared crew weight. This is what I said.
Sorry, there's
yeah.
a question from Gabriele Costantino talking about it is possible to get an exemption about the flotation date. I should have the certificate by the 5th. Unfortunately, I didn't notice the request date. I will not change here neither. Other things just declare.
The question is first, is the certificate, first question is currently certificate issued by today. If the certificate is issued by today, then we can, yes, then the answer is yes, we can approve updates as a technical committee before the start of the race.
Okay,
Probably would be.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Gabriele.
Yes.
Okay, excuse me for my English. The question was just that thing, because I unfortunately noticed that my rotation date is effectively really old, but I didn't know that we need they was until 2021. So if for you it's okay, I will change them rapidly, and I think that until the 5th I will be ready, but I will not change again my sales, neither other things, other equipment.
Okay, this is okay. Please just also forward send by email official request to be approved, and then yeah, I can now tell you that yes, it will be approved. For us, it's important out of this check that before we start the championship, everyone complies with the rules.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
There is David would like to talk. David.
Yes, my question is about the crew weight. So there is a crew weight declared on the certificate, and
Yes.
Can this be changed before the race, or how does it work?
No. The answer
Basically,
is no.
the answer is you need to have certificate issued by today. By today,
Yes.
you need to declare your crew weight, and later you cannot change certificate for that. What we can do, if we see something that is, we are checking the sales, for example, and we see, or even if we find some mistake, an error, mistype in a certificate, we can always do this. But the crew weight you need to declare it now.
Okay.
Basically, the one that you have on the certificate today is the crew weight that you will apply for the race, and obviously needs to be the same crew weight for the whole week. You cannot have one day another crew weight and then next day different crew weight. And speaking about this, here is also the slide that I'm showing you about the crew changes. So once your entry is accepted, the entry list that you are submitting to the organizer shall include all crew members who will be on the board at the start of the first race. So after the first race, you can do changes in the crew, add new member, replace or disembark crew member, and shall be notified to the race office, will be specified in the selling instructions. Crew changes will be automatically approved, provided that crew weight after the change is within the limits. The only requirement is that substituted crew members shall not be aboard any other competing boat through the remainder of series. So if you start with one boat and on the second day you are disembarked, you are not allowed to go another boat. And obviously, whenever crew change is done, any final crew weight after that change shall remain the same. And you don't need, the usual question was that, do we need to have all the people all the time? No, you can change, you can make crew changes. Sometimes you have people who cannot for any reason go on the long distance race or vice versa. Doesn't matter. But it's only important that in any change you are doing, you are always complying with your certificate. So if you know, for example, that if you have 800 kilos in your certificate, and you know that first day you will race with a 10 and second day you will race with a 12 persons, for example, then you need to take in account that you need to be with 800 kilos with the 12 persons. So this is, and basically you always need to be between minimum and maximum that is recorded on your certificate. Equipment change. So substitution of damaged or lost equipment is not allowed unless authorized by the technical committee. So at first reasonable opportunity, mostly of the sales, is whenever the sales is damaged beyond repair, we need to inspect the sale to understand, yes, it's damaged beyond the repair, and then we can approve you replacement for the sale. Obviously, we will remove the event sticker from the broken one and put a new one. And just in the first reasonable opportunity, you can simply make requests for the equipment change. I think this concludes my presentation, and we are open for any further questions you may have. Are there any questions on the
Not
chat?
that I know. I think we replied pretty much to all the questions. I think maybe Alessandro, can you just explain, because there were a few people that were kind of saying that they didn't receive the link for the pre-regatta inspections. So I think you wanted to say something.
Good evening, everybody. It is very easy to use our entry form and our system for entering the race. Maybe you have already checked all the documents and all the crew lists. To make it easier, we have inserted the button directly connected to WhatsApp number, that if you have any doubt about how to manage the entry, you can make any question to that WhatsApp number. In your entry form, you will also find at the bottom of the entry form another button that you can push, and you will enter to the reservation system for the measurements. So screen with all the times and dates where you can book. You will see that for those that are moored in Sorrento, there are 3 columns, and for those that are moored in Sant'Agnello, there is another column. Be sure that you book the right column, otherwise they will have to find you in the wrong place, maybe. Please write us by email if at the end of all this you cannot get the right information. And I ask to all the ones that have my number not to call me, because it's a very, very busy period, and I really cannot be able to answer everybody. And I think it's all. If there is anybody that wants to make any question, of course we are here. Thank you.
Thanks, Alessandro. Benjamin asking about what's a suitable combination for anchors. It's not clear.
As I said, you can take as a guidance. Let's say for the amount of the chain, it's 1 meter per 1 kilo per meter of the length of the boat, and you know, the question is, this is for Alessandro, when the sailing instructions will be posted. As far as I know, I was involved, and then they were circulated the last draft. So probably by tomorrow, Alessandro will have the sailing instructions posted.
Yes, I think yes, because as you know, we have circulated some other notice.
Yeah, small details.
More small details, but I think they will be ready by tonight and published tomorrow. Just another thing, we want to remember you that in your section of the race, in your ORC World Championship, there are some buttons, and one of these sends you directly to the ONB, or Official Notice Board, which is made with the Racing Rules of Sailing. On Racing Rules of Sailing, you have the availability to make a question to the jury, to the race committee, to the technical committee, and of course to the race organization. So please use these instruments to speak with us.
Question from Stefano about 2 mainsail on board.
Yes, 2 mainsails are allowed, and it doesn't matter which is the principal, which is the main. It is the rule for a couple of years since now. You can have 2 mainsails, but of course, then this means that you need to go out with the 2 mainsails. If you have 2 mainsails and you, as I said before, you go out on the day 1 with 1 mainsail, then you cannot go back for that one. So those sails are allowed. Yeah.
One question from
sorry, can you repeat that? If you go out, you need to go out with 2 mainsails?
Correct.
If you want to have the possibility to use 2 mainsail, then you need to go out with the 2. If you go out with the 1 mainsail and you break one, you cannot go back on that day, on that race day, to take another mainsail.
Okay.
Is this clear?
Yep.
There's a question from Francesco, but I'm not really sure.
For a 10-meter boat, you need to have 2 anchors with 10 kilos anchor chain. Yes, that should, plus some rope, you know, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
I have a question about the lifelines. I didn't understand exactly if it is possible to have lifelines auto beep, or we do have to respect a specific section of the cable.
Sorry, I didn't understand you.
Can you repeat your question?
Yeah.
Was question it was clear? I didn't understand
if
exactly.
You can repeat it.
If we can use a lifeline auto build, do we have to respect a specific section of the cables?
Okay, quick question for you. What do you mean by lifelines? Do Do you mean like the tethers, something that you attach to your life jackets and to the
Life
boat?
lines is
when you move on the boat, to be
Yeah, the tethers.
the jacks. Yeah.
Yes.
it's not like that. Okay.
Can we build them for ourselves, or we are necessary to install a system built outside?
Well, it has to comply with ISO 12401 or equivalent, first of all, and also it needs to have like an overload indicator. Everything, all the let's say the characteristic of the safety harness and tethers, it's stated in the safety checklist, and it's OSR reference. I can put in the chat the OSR reference so you can check it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, also a question about again about the sales. Yes, it's not mandatory to have all sales on the boat, but I'm repeating, on each day you need to select which sales you want to have on that day. And with the sales you go out, these are the sales for that day.
So Michele is correct.
Yeah, the question is that life raft and jack sail should be installed for the coastal race. Does this mean, depending on the program, we will have to reinstall life raft and the jack sail? Correct, Michele, correct. Yeah. No, sorry, did you answer this, or to whom you answered?
No, Michele, but this question disappeared somehow.
Okay.
So Benjamin, that's the new one. In the notice of race.
Does it mean, depending on the program, we will have to reinstall? The answer is yes. For the coastal, no. So the life raft. I'm sorry. Maybe we skipped that one in the presentation. In my part, it's what I need to add, that the life raft always need to be in compliance with the special regs, and there can be two possibilities. Why? Once in a hard case shall be out of on the cockpit or on the deck, and one in a soft or valise shall be in a dedicated watertight compartment. There is no coastal raft. It's always the one that is applied for the race.
But I think the question is, do they need to carry the life raft all the time, or just for the coastal and the long offshore race?
For the coastal and long offshore race. This is in the notice of race, but obviously the same one. Not there is no coastal life raft for a
Yes.
coastal race.
Maybe we can spend like 2 words on the life raft.
Yes, in fact, I have to admit that maybe I actually missed it in my PowerPoint presentation. But what is important of the life raft? Yeah.
Quickly.
What I said for the basically what we can share the explanation of on the checklist. Let me just do the.
I'm sharing actually the screen about the section about inflatable life raft.
Are you sharing the screen? Sorry.
Yes. And obviously the two types of the rigid container and the soft type are allowed, but there is a big difference between the two. So the rigid container can be securely stored on the working deck, in the cockpit, or in an open space, while the soft type, so the valise type, needs to be stored in a dedicated watertight locker in the cockpit, containing the life raft, and that's all. So if you don't have this type of watertight locker, you should have the rigid type container that you can strap on deck. But neither of the two types can go down below. So that's has to be very clear. So please check which type do you have and where you're gonna store it.
Okay, I think that if there is not many more questions, first of all, thank you. And maybe as a final remark, please know that we are here to help you. We are not police. We are not here to, and if you have any questions, come to us, but we are also here to be sure that all boats complies with certificates and with the ratings, and that whoever wins the race wins on the fair and on the fairness and equal opportunity and equal chance to win. It's just for the scoring but also for complying with the rules. If correct, yeah.
It's about the Spinnaker for Class C. 4 Spinnakers for Class C.
Is it correct that only 4 events tickets? Yes, exactly. So if you come to Class C and you have 5 Spinnakers, then you can have only 4 stickers to use on this. Alessandro, you want to do some final word?
Yes, just one thing. Thank you everybody for being here today and for being in this 2026 ORC World Championship. We will have a Telegram group that will be used very strongly by the race committee for any information, for any change, for any detail on the races, on the timetable of the races and everything. So please subscribe the Telegram channel. You will find on the race sailing instructions, so you will be informed at any time. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Zoran.
Thank you, everybody. See you in Sorrento. And good luck and good win.
Thank you. Will you be
you.
able to share the presentation?
Yes, I'm just now stop recording, and then we will upload this to YouTube, and this presentation will be together with PowerPoint, which before I will also add this part about the live run to be sure to have all information. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.